Hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Miss Huda and I teach Java programming. In this video I'm going to show you how to create arrays of objects. So the first thing we need to do is to create a class. So we will create a Java class and call it student. The student class will have two private attributes, the ID and another private attribute, the name. Let's add the GPA as well. After defining your attributes, you can start writing your constructor, setters, getters, and toString. NetBeans has an automatic way of doing this, so right-click and choose Insert Code, Constructor, and choose whatever attributes you want to include in the constructor. So this is the initialization constructor. You can also add a default constructor if you want a constructor with no parameters, and you can add the setters and getters, so getters and setters for all the attributes. So you have get ID, set ID, get name, set name, get GPA, set GPA, and lastly we will add the toString for displaying all the attributes. So now we have the student class ready to go. Save that, and then we will create another class. Let's call it the section class, and this section class will have a section number and course title and an array of students that are registered in that section. So private student array, and we will call them section students. So let's also insert a constructor for the section that only takes the section number and the title as parameters, and inside here we will allocate the student, the section students equals new student. Let's say that our array will have 20 students. Okay, so this is the section class. We should have another class, a Java main class, which is the test class. So test section student class. In this class we will create a section s1 equal new section, and we will give it, for example, the 221 section, and the title is programming lab 2. So this is for creating s1, and we want to add students to s1. We will go to the section class and add a method called add student. So public void add student. So to add the student, we should have the student name, the student ID, and the student GPA. So here we will make a new student, student s equal new student, and then we will add this student to the student sections. So we don't know how many students are there in the student section, so we will put a private int number of students and initialize it to 0 here, and we will put here the section students sub number of students is equal to the student that we have created, and don't forget to increment the number of students by 1. So now if the number of students is 0, we have put inside the section student one student at position 0, and then the number of students was incremented by 1. Let's display all students in the section. So public void display students. Here we will go through all students one by one using a for loop. So for int I equals 0, I is less than section student dot length I plus plus. We will display the students one by one, system dot out section students sub I, and let's add one statement here, the students in this section R, and we loop through the students and just print these students. So let's take a look at how we run this program. So if we run, then we will find that it says the students in this section are, and all the students inside my section are null. This is because we allocated the 20 students and we did not add any of the students inside the array. So let's add one student, s1.add student Ahmed Ali, his ID and his GPA, and let's display all students in the section and see how this goes. We displayed all the students, all of them are null. In the second display, only one student exists in the class, the rest are null. If you want to display only the students, not the null places, so instead of going until the end of the section length, we will just put here the number of students and then we will run. In the first display, no students are available. In the second display, just one student is available. Also, we can display students selectively. If we want to display the students who have high GPA, let's say that the GPA higher than this value, so double value, can create a student S is equal to section sub I, and here we will add if S is not equal to null and S dot get GPA is greater than value, then we display S dot to string. So here we want only to display selectively the students with a GPA higher than a certain value. So we loop through our array, we get student by student. If this student is not null and if the GPA is greater than this certain value, then we selectively print this student. Let's try this, and s1 dot display student with a GPA higher than for example 3.0, and let's see what happens when we run. So the students with GPA higher than 0 is Ahmed, and we can add another student just to make sure that our program is correct. So s1 dot add student, let's say that the name is Khalid and he has a different ID and his GPA is 2.0, and let's run again. So 2 students are in my section, but only one student has a GPA higher than 3 value. That's all for today's video. Thank you for listening.